Sneakers, The All-Stars of Footwear by Patrick Joseph. Look down at your feet. What are you wearing on them? Odds are the answer is sneakers. Sneakers are everywhere, but how much do you know about this popular footwear? How were sneakers invented? What are they made of? And why are they called sneakers anyway? Rooted in rubber. The story of sneakers started about 500 years ago. That's when European explorers in Central and South America noticed Native Americans playing with an unusual ball. The ball was made from a milky, white liquid that oozed out of the caoutchouc tree. The liquid, known today as latex, hardened as it dried. Native Americans had practical uses for latex too. They spread the sticky liquid on their feet. Once it dried, it formed a very thin shoe that protected their feet from water. They also made waterproof bottles with latex. When explorers brought latex samples back to Europe in the early 1700s, scientists started searching for their own ways to use it. In 1770, an English chemist named Joseph Priestley discovered that the gummy stuff could rub out pencil marks. People dubbed it rubber, and the name stuck. The right stuff. By the early 1800s, manufacturers in the United States and Europe had found many uses for rubber. They used the stretchy, waterproof stuff for raincoats, hoses, elastic bands, and more. But rubber wasn't very good for making most things. It got too brittle in the cold and too sticky in the heat. That changed in 1839. An inventor named Charles Goodyear mixed rubber and a smelly yellow chemical called sulfur. Then he accidentally spilled the mixture onto a hot stove. The resulting glop stayed firm and stretchy, whatever the temperature. It was called vulcanized rubber, named after Vulcan, the Roman god of fire. Sneaking around. A few years later, manufacturers teamed vulcanized rubber soles or shoe bottoms with a tough fabric called canvas. The result was comfortable, lightweight shoes. Up until then, almost everyone wore leather shoes with hard soles that clumped loudly with each step. The new rubber-soled shoes were very quiet. You could easily sneak around in them, so people started calling them sneakers. At first, sneakers weren't very popular. For one thing, they were expensive, and people were more excited about using vulcanized rubber to make tires for bicycles, and later, cars. But in 1916, a rubber company introduced a simple sneaker called Keds. Its price was low, so many people could afford a pair. Keds were a huge success. A year later, another company called Converse created the first basketball sneaker. The All-Star model featured rubber soles that kept players from slipping on the court. They also had canvas tops that went up around the ankle for good support. Sneakers were off and running. Stepping up design. It wasn't until the fitness craze of the 1970s that many people started taking sneakers seriously, though. Track coach Bill Bowerman was one of these people. He realized that if he could create lighter sneakers, his runners would save energy. In fact, shaving just 1 ounce off the shoes would help. The runner's legs would lift 200 fewer pounds over the course of a mile. That could help his athletes win races. One day in 1971, inspired by his breakfast, Bowerman poured liquid rubber into his wife's waffle iron and let it harden. The experiment ruined the waffle iron, but it resulted in the first waffle soles. These were lighter than flat soles because of all the notches in the waffle pattern. Plus, they gave better traction or grip. A new model for sneaker soles hit the pavement. Modern wonders. Today, sneakers are a big business. In 2000, people in the United States spent more than $15 billion on them. That means they purchased more than 405 million pairs. Modern sneaker designs jump far beyond the first canvas and rubber model. Whether you wear sneakers to play sports or for fashion flair, the choices today are endless. So the next time you get a new pair of sneakers, take a good look at how they're made. Think about what goes into them and all the history behind them. Then slip them on and take off.